Today is Monday, November 15th, and you're listening to the morning announcements presented by Betches Media. I'm Sammy Sage, and this episode is sponsored by Amazon Music's new podcast, Country Heat Weekly, hosted by Kelly Sutton and Amber Anderson, available now on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. There is so much news to talk about this Monday morning. Let's start with where we left off on Friday. In the best news ever, Britney Spears' conservatorship was officially terminated on Friday afternoon after 14 years. Britney now has regained control over her career, body, financial and medical decisions, and everything else that her father used to profit off her existence for a decade and a half. Britney wrote on Instagram, "I think I'll go cry for the rest of the day." So did we, Brit. So did we. In other good news from Friday afternoon, a federal grand jury indicted Steve Bannon for contempt of Congress, finally, after he refused to answer a subpoena from the January 6th committee in the House. He was charged with 2 counts, one related to his refusal to appear for a deposition, and another related to his refusal to produce documents. Both counts carry a minimum of 30 days and a maximum of a year in jail if he's convicted. But something tells me jail won't be so bad for Bannon after 67 years existing in his own skin. More news in a similar vein. Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, has also been subpoenaed by the January 6th committee and is also being difficult about appearing and producing documents. In light of this, and the fact that Trump's closest advisors seem to be giving the metaphorical middle finger to the committee, Mark Meadows is likely going to get a similar criminal referral to the Justice Department for contempt of Congress if he doesn't respond to the committee by Friday. Money by Friday, Meadows. Money by Friday. In a less amazing news story from before the weekend, the Wisconsin state legislature gave final approval to the state's GOP redistricting plan, instead of another plan that was proposed by a nonpartisan commission. The new maps would give the GOP 75% of U.S. House seats and 60% of legislative seats, just 1 year after Biden won the state in the general election. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers has promised to veto the maps, which would send the issue to the courts. Ultimately, Democrats want federal courts to draw the maps, and Republicans want the GOP-controlled Wisconsin Supreme Court to draw the maps. Let's move on to Saturday, which was a big day for the FBI after their email system was compromised by hackers. The hackers sent thousands of spam emails out to various people and companies, and it had a fake warning about a cyber attack. Even though, yes, this was a real cyber attack, the one referenced in the emails was fake. Apparently, no data or information was compromised, and the emails they sent out didn't include any malware intended for the recipients. So it sounds like this was just kind of like a for funsies hack. Now let's go back to October for a second for a story that is just coming out now. Apparently, Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee was pepper sprayed while she was in LA for her turn to compete on Dancing with the Stars last month. She was waiting for a ride after a night out with a group of friends when a car drove by and started screaming racial slurs at them before pepper spraying Lee on the arm. Of the incident, Lee said, "I didn't do anything to them, and having the reputation, it's so hard because I didn't want to do anything that could get me into trouble. I just let it happen." Our hearts go out to Suni Lee in dealing with this incident. Just when you thought the pandemic was out, it pulls you back in. The Austrian government, who you don't hear about much, has ordered a nationwide lockdown for unvaccinated people that started yesterday in order to combat rising COVID infection numbers. Now anybody who's age 12 or over who's unvaccinated is forbidden from leaving their home except for work, grocery shopping, going for a walk, or getting vaccinated. The lockdown will initially last for 10 days, and police will go on patrol to actually check that people outside are vaccinated. And unvaccinated people will be fined up to €1,450 if they violate the lockdown. Could you imagine if we tried doing that here? The horse-paced heads would go insane. Thank you for listening to the morning announcements, and thanks again to our sponsor, Amazon Music's new podcast, Country Heat Weekly, hosted by Kelly Sutton and Amber Anderson. Every Thursday, Kelly and Amber deliver the vibrant world of country music right from Music Row in the heart of Nashville. The show reflects the energy, stylistic range, and diversity of today's country, and they'll be spilling that sweet tea about what's happening on the Nashville scene. If you're a fan of country music, you're going to love this show. I promise that. So find and follow Country Heat Weekly on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. And until tomorrow, I'm Sammy Sage, and now you know what the fuck is going on.
Betches.